Hello, race fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer, and this isn't Supercross. It's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak, and Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday. Be there!
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to Fishy. What up, Brian? How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome.
Muted.
Can't get rid of me. I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Welcome, everybody.
I feel like I'm back at home.
Nice.
Ready to go.
We have a good episode for you guys tonight. We have the one and the only Captain Dan tuning in. He's going to be jumping on the show with us for a little bit. So it's going to be a blast. And let's do the business of welcoming the first comment of the day. We're going to give the first comment of the day to Mr. Carl Black. What up, Carl?
Oh, my gosh. Somebody check on Peter 86.
Yeah, something's wrong with Peter 86. Somebody go check on him.
I don't know that.
We'll give the first like of the evening to Mr. Jesse. What up, Jesse? What up?
Yo, Jesse.
Welcome,
What's up,
Jesse.
G. Loomis, Jesse?
Right. Shout out to Leonard. Shout out to Roy. I see you in there, Roy. Down in SD. Spinning rod rebel Marvin. What up, Marvin? Mr.
Yo.
Arnie in the house. What up, Arnie? Benji. What up, dude? Benji Butternut Moreno. What up, Bit? We got Brett. What's up, Brett Wilson? Welcome. We got Dave Rage. Cal in the house. What up, Cal? We have let's see, Mr. Eric the Judge Lehman in the house. What up, Judge? Welcome. And we have Jeff, one cool tuna, exclamation point OCT in the house. What up, Jeff? Welcome.
What's up, Jet? My cat just knocked down all my notes.
We got Oscar. What up, Oscar? Welcome back. All right. So let's do some pop top so we can do some announcements.
Yeah, let's do this.
And we can bring on Captain Dan. So
You ready?
Ready. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst. Rate this pop top.
I'm going with the standard LaCroix today. So here we go. You ready?
Jeez, dude. Oh my gosh. The pour does not count. I muted the pour.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you either.
There you go. Wow.
I can hear that microphone with a gain to 11. Nice.
What? Yeah, that's right. That's the Mega mic. That's this mic right here, but that's just specially mic just for the pop top. Let's see what you got. Bring it out. Monster Cup.
Let me bring
by the way.
Let me bring in my overly hyped mic too. Check 1 2.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh, maybe I better turn my headset down.
No, it's okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me the best pop. Oh, yeah, put your scores in the chat. And then after you put the score for Brian, let me know what you're drinking in the chat, so we can divide our scores, separate our scores. Check 1 2.
You're
Check
really
1 2.
building
Check
this
1
up,
2.
huh?
Oh yeah, I'm going for it.
10, right on. Brett Wilson, what's up, dude? Bass Slayer in there. Brett Wilson, man, you're gonna be tonight on PB Shot. Wait till you see this largemouth this guy.
All right, here we go. Scale of 1 to 10. Tell me the best pop top you heard in your life. I want to show this in the camera. There we go. 1 being the worst. Rate this pop top. Oh my god, I didn't hear that. It wasn't that loud. I need to gain up that mic. Oh.
Sorry, who did that? Todd TB Metal Art, what's up? Saw the belt.
Check
oh,
1
God.
2. Check 1 2. Is that mic even plugged in?
Gosh.
Check 1 2. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't have it loud enough.
Todd is almost done with these belts, and my gosh, they are beautiful. Those look nice, Todd. Good job. Thank you.
Oh,
for doing
5. Oh, so terrible. Just
You
stuck
know,
with
the
my
other
normal
day,
mic.
since I've been gone, the other
Cheers.
day, I had cheers. I've had some time to go out shopping, because I've been, I had some time away from the show, and I went out and I bought a brand new sweater. I purchased the sweater, but man, it kept picking up static electricity. So I decided to return it, and he gave me another one free of charge.
Nice.
That's it. Okay.
All right. All right.
All right, guys, let's move on here. That's a long joke. Okay, for tonight's show, like we've already said, Captain Dan is going to be on here a little bit later. We got a huge PB shout-outs. You guys, thank you so much for sending in all those submissions for PB shout-outs. We got some
3
from
weeks
Chad,
worth?
got some from Brett. We got some from LA. We've got them from everywhere. So first announcement, we're not taking a break. Spotty Bowl is this weekend, guys. So San Diego Bay. So you guys get to leave Mission Bay. I know some of you guys struggled there, got a little upset about Mission Bay and it's still being cold and kind of hard. But San Diego Bay, fishing's hot. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a big weekend. You guys are going to have to come out some big numbers. Make sure you declare your day. San Diego Bay, 19th to the 21st. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Make sure you declare your day. You guys up in LA, though, you get a little break. June 2nd is your next event. So you get 2 more weekends to pre-fish or just go fun fish, guys. So one thing I want to tell you about San Diego Bay, I'm going to say these rules one more time because the judge wants me to, is 1, submit your fish with the length. Submit your fish on time. So there's no more warnings at this point. So make sure if you're 1 p.m., make sure you get them in before 1. If you're 8 p.m., make sure you get them before 8. One of the biggest mistakes, declare your day. Don't forget, before your round starts, you got to declare your day. Make sure your mouths are shut on your fish, clear pictures. You could submit more than 5. So submit your first 5 as you catch them and then submit your upgrades as you go. That's what we recommend. That way at the end, you don't actually submit the wrong fish or forget to submit a fish. And there will be no exceptions this week. No more warnings. So we're getting into the later rounds here, Roman.
Yeah, exciting.
Okay, so that's Spotty Bowl announcements. Next announcement. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but when you go down to San Diego Bay and you see that big white-looking clamshell thing, that's actually a concert hall. And if you guys didn't know, you can actually, from your boat, kayak, float tube, whatever you got, you can actually cruise on out there and fish and listen to these concerts while they're going on, which is actually I've done it a few times and the sound is pretty good. It's called The Shell, and you can look up their concert schedule online. But a few concerts are coming up. June 10th, we got Stick Figure. June 11th, Roman, this one's for you. Diana Ross.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know she still toured.
That's awesome.
We got Earth, Wind,
legend,
and Fire. Dude. Leonard, that's Leonard's style, man. He's going to get his groove on. Leonard, let's get on the boat. June 18th, Earth, Wind, and Fire. We got Cake on June 20th. Here's one I'm definitely going to. July 1st, the Beach Boys. Oh.
What?
You don't like the Beach Boys? I love the Beach Boys.
What? You're Captain Diana Ross and you're
already got a date
come out with the Beach Boys? Get out of here.
I'm going to get my groove on, my Hawaiian shirt. July 16th, Leonard. Mark it on your calendar. Salty, if you want to join, you can come too. The Village people are coming. Man.
You got to dress up, though.
I mean, oh, yeah. I'm obviously the construction worker. And here you go. I don't know if you want to take your family out to this, but finally, August 27th, Roman, you got Michael Bolton.
What?
Not the guy from The Office. The actual guy, Michael Bolton.
That's amazing. He's like, when I got to change my name? He sucks.
Yep. All right, guys, and that is it for announcements from me, Roman. Unless you got anything else for announcements.
We have some more announcements about Rancho Lonero when Captain Dan comes on. Okay.
That's right. We got a few more announcements, but guys, if you're going out to the concert, and you want to get your groove on, put it in our Discord in SD Connections, and Stick Figure, right, Leonard? Put it in there, and maybe we can all cruise down there and yak and fish, boat, listen to music, right?
Cool. All right,
so pricey nowadays.
Yesterday I got to go to a baseball game. I haven't been to a baseball game in a long time. Got to go with Leonard and some of the guests from the club, who I don't know if they want to be named or not. But anyway, it was a blast. I got random tickets. I put it in the Discord. So if you're not in Discord and you're not keeping track, make sure you're keeping track because random stuff like that comes up all the time. And I'm gonna continue to post things like that. So obviously, I give priority to the guys in the Champions Club, the guys that are supporting the channel directly. So if those guys can't partake, then I'll put it into the general chat, and then we will have fun. So have fun outings like that. Okay. So if you're not in our Discord server yet, you should be in there. On top of that, if you haven't learned about Fish Hype yet, the new forum that we're trying to get going off the ground, we are giving away this reel when we hit 200 users. And it's donated by Brother Sport Fishing. There it is. SLX XT 150 HG. It's sealed in the box. So
fancy SLX.
Yeah, it's a one step up from a regular SLX. It's like another $20-$30, but you get an extra bearing.
Is it's righty.
What's that?
Only problem with it's a right-handed one.
Nice, nice. So if you haven't heard about it yet, type in the chat !hype. And I'll give you a link to fishhype.com. Go over to register. Once you're registered, you have to go find the 200 user contest thread. And in that 200 user contest thread, you type in a message that says, hey, I want to be included in the raffle or the giveaway. And then when we hit 200 users, only the people that responded to that thread will be in the drawing. So you got to make sure you respond to that thread. Okay? Cool.
That's right. Yeah.
Anything else
cool.
on the docket for announcements?
When your wife says she'll be home in 5 minutes, she will be. You don't have to remind her every 15 minutes. I solely do these jokes for Chad and for Zachary. So everyone wants it enjoyed.
Zach's not even here. Are you here, Zach?
You watch the replay.
The sounds. That sounds so sick. Evening cruise on the water with him. Yeah, exactly. 2 casts in.
I tell my wife those jokes, and my wife's always angry that I get my directions messed up. So I packed up my stuff and I went right.
There's Mr. Zach Riggs. I see him.
There we go. Yeah, hey Zach.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to a Zach intermission real quick. Hold on, Zach. I got you. Give me a second.
Hey, this is Zach, and I'm at Super Rigs, and you're watching Fishy Hour. May the bite be with you. Yeah!
Let's go. That was a good one. I love it. There you go. This Mr. Zach Riggs in the house.
Okay, guys, we're going to since it's a fishing show, we're going to talk a little bit about fishing right here. That's why we kept our announcements kind of brief. So a lot of you guys that are in chat right now, we got Brett, we got Chad, we got, Dave, we got Salty. There's a lot of guys in there that are experienced spotty bowlers. And what I'm asking for you guys tonight, the way this club was put together, really, the MMFC, was on helping people and, as a club, going out, learning together, learning the ropes, as like Muto says, becoming black belts. And the guys that are very experienced here, I'm asking you, could you guys give, since we have San Diego Bay coming up for Spotty Bowl, would you guys mind in chat giving one hint? It doesn't have to be like a location or anything, but one piece of advice that you'd give to somebody that's maybe struggling in Spotty Bowl or that needs that little extra, I don't know, just to kind of get them up to that 60-inch range. So give out one hint for them. And while you guys are typing in your hint, just write in the word hint. And anybody in chat, if you got a hint on catching spotties in San Diego Bay, put it in there real quick, and we're gonna go over those for a few minutes. One thing that I'm gonna start out with the first hint is be prepared. The night before, don't wake up early in the morning and then throw everything in there and then get there on the water and everything's got birds' nests in them. Your leaders are jacked. You don't have the right lure on, and you're spending all this time. Go over a game plan in your head. I literally. Like I always listen to Tom Brady talk, and he would talk about he would play the entire game in his head the night before. He would know exactly what he's going to do, and he would play that game through his head and try to visualize what he was going to do that next game. And I treat Spotty Bowl the same way. The night before, I think about exactly where I'm going to start and exactly what plan B is when I start and that doesn't work. And then I make sure that I have all the lures that I know that are my confidence tied up, ready to go, so I can throw those right in the water and get going. Okay, Dave Rage says, hint, keep moving, don't zombie fish. That's an excellent hint, guys. So what he's saying is if your game plan was to fish the docks, let's just say, and there's no fish, you've spent 2 hours in the docks, you've got one 10-inch fish, then you need to move and try a different zone. And what you're looking for in Spotty Bowl is a pattern. So if they're in the docks, stay in those docks until that dries up. Keep hitting them. But if they're not in the docks, maybe move to the deep channel, maybe move to the grass, maybe move up to the riprap, move around. That's a great thing. Chad says use hookup baits. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those are definitely spotties. There's a lot of you guys. Yeah, a lot of these guys. And it's a local bait. It's pretty cool to use local stuff. But a lot of you guys that post pictures in Spotty Bowl use hookup baits, and they're very successful. So yeah, Chad, if you guys have questions about hookup baits, obviously Chad's the guy to ask. He's hookup bait master.
That's cool.
Zachary Riggs says, hint, change baits, especially if they're not working. Yeah. So great hint, Zach. Changing your baits. So one thing with changing baits too, let's just take a hookup bait, for example. So if you're fishing their 1/4 and it's not getting bit, and maybe you're in a little too deep of water and it's not quite getting to the bottom. If you watch your line, sometimes if you're in that deep channel and that line is sticking way out behind your kayak and it's not even in the bottom, it may just be, floating in the mid water column. You want to make sure that your bait is getting down all the way to the bottom. So if you're fishing that 1/4 and it's not working, maybe go up to 5/8 or even like even 1 ounce if you're in super deep water. Just make sure that whatever you're fishing is down there on the bottom. That's a great hint, Zach. Change baits.
Yeah. So
Even if you only fish one bait, like if you just fish the Muto Special, the Submission Fishing Co., make sure you have the correct weight on there. And I like to bring like 3 baits. I usually rotate throwing between my 3 confidence baits.
Yeah, so Eric's on the same track too about being aware of what's keeping your lure off the bottom.
Yeah, the best chance. I mean, sometimes you can get a spotty if you're in, upper mid water column, but not very often. 99% of the time, those things are sitting right on the bottom. So if you're not down on the bottom, or your bait's not making it to the bottom, you're not going to get a spotty. So make sure you have the correct weight, not only the correct lure, but the correct weight on there. Go through some of these hints again.
Perfect. We have a question from Colton. What up, Colton? Welcome.
What's up, Colton?
It says, when's the next MMFC club meetup?
Man.
Like meetup as far as like hanging out, or like meetup as far as like fishing? Let us know. Be more specific. The way we run the club is, if you want to throw something together, you're more than welcome to. As long as you're not trying to do something like for a profit, then you're welcome to get together with other MMFC members and organize through the Discord server. Kayak fishing, yeah. So we haven't done a lot of kayak fishing events lately because everybody's kind of burnt out with Spotty Bowl. So I feel like asking people to fish. Go ahead.
We'll use the word busy.
Busy, yeah, busy, busy. So we're like, I don't want to be the cause of you guys getting in trouble at home for fishing too much. But I'd rather you guys fish Spotty Bowl for now, and then once Spotty Bowl is done, we'll do more events with the club. It'll probably be like more towards summer anyway. So,
well, I mean, come mid-July, which is not too far away.
Yeah.
There's only going to be the playoffs left, and that'll only be a few of the people in Spotty Bowl. And then August, guys, August is wide open. So we're gonna hit the MFC, and we're gonna hit some group outings hard in August because the fishing's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna have a lot of good times in August.
Arnie, I don't think there's a such thing as fishing too much, but spouses might disagree. Our significant others might disagree. But anyway, so I don't want to be the cause of unnecessary tension in your homes. Back that guy keeps telling me to go fish.
We're all people are pacing ourselves.
I'm taking you guys fishing, putting you guys on Spotty Bowl, and then trying to get you guys to travel out of the country to go do some more fishing. Let's go, baby.
All good. Chad Hookup Bait says exactly. A game plan is huge. Have a lot of spots to fish. Yes, I bet Chad. He's like me. We're pretty competitive. We're in all the series, and me and him both always have a game plan going in. We'll know exactly what spot A is going to be, spot B, C, D, all the way down to Z. We're ready to go. So have that in your mind, guys. And if you can, do a pre-fish, but remember, conditions can change in hours. Conditions can change in minutes. Sometimes if you're in a dock and you're fishing that and you're not getting bit, and you come back, say, 2 hours later, and it's on fire. It's mainly because the tide has changed. The fish have rolled in there. Sometimes they go out to the grass and feed on the, razor clams, and they come back into those docks to relax or whatever. But those things move around, and it may only be a little bit, but when they move into a spot and you're in the right spot at the right time, that's a pattern. Take big time advantage of it when you find them. Don't let off. Just get your picture, drop it in, and just go like crazy. Just keep getting them. Patterns. What's up, Mark G?
Welcome, Mark. All right. Oh,
anybody going to leave any more hints? I'm going to leave probably one more hint, and then we're going to move on to Captain Dan here. Chad, man, giving a lot of hints out tonight. He says, rule of thumb, 20 feet or less, 1/4, 25 feet, or high current, 3/8, 5/8, 1/8 over grass. Wow. Okay. Over grass is probably 10 feet or less. So 1/8. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good rule of thumb. And then
awesome,
if you're going with something that's with grams, usually 1 gram per foot is a good rule of thumb too. 30 grams, pretty good for most of the spotties in the bay and the heavier areas, and then 15 gram of the docks and 10 in the grass.
All right. I'm ready to bring in the most interesting Mac.
Look for dirtier water, Brett Wilson said. Brett Wilson is a Spotty Bowl slayer. Yeah, look for the dirty water. Sometimes if you go to a dock and the water is crystal clear, I mean, you can see all the way down to the bottom of the pylon. you may want to go find deeper water, or I don't try to get lucky with something with a darker color. I got a question here, Roman.
Question: my phone says I timed out Mark 300 seconds and I haven't touched my phone. Well, let's see. I see that you did time him out. Wow,
Mark,
interesting.
you getting crazy?
Let's see. Yeah, you did time him out. You deleted his messages too. I don't know. You gotta check that phone, dude. About to take your banhammer away.
Oh no, Judge is gonna not be the judge. What's
I'm
up?
gonna take your banhammer temporarily just to see if somebody's got a control of your account. I don't want it messing up. Okay, so just temporarily. Okay, Judge is no longer a standard moderator for you. Okay, cool. And sorry, Mark. Type in your messages again. Let me see if I can get this to come back. Yeah, Mark just said hi. Basically, what's up, guys? And he said, "Bit." Yeah. So there's So yeah. But I did see that happen from your account, Judge. So, yeah, we'll figure it out.
And my last hint, guys, if you're fishing in a zone that you're catching lots of fish, say, and you're having fun, but they're like 10 and 11-inch, 9-inch fish. I mean, fun fishing, that's awesome. But in Spotty Bowl, if you're in a zone where it's dinks only, the odds of catching it illegal in that area are pretty low. Usually in Mission Bay, it's like 12-1. San Diego Bay may be a little better at 8-1 if you're lucky. But if you're in an area, let's just take like Dink Beach. We all know that area over by Coronado Bridge. It's fun for fun fishing. But for Spotty Bowl, you're going to want to move out of that zone, get your 5 out of there, and move out and try to find out where the big ones are hanging out. So move away from those 10-inch zones during Spotty Bowl.
There you go.
That's it for me for tips.
Next week is it'll be a results show, right?
You got it, San Diego Bay.
Man. All right. If not, and then the week after that is another results show, or
no, that's a wide open show.
Okay, so then we'll do more San Diego fishing stuff then, guys. Right now I want to jump in and get the most interesting Mac on the show. Guys, we're so lucky to have guys like Captain Dan in our club. They've lived awesome lives and have such awesome experiences, and we're fortunate to be able to ask them questions and learn from them. So we're gonna get Captain Dan on here. If you've never watched the Captain Dan's previous birthday episodes, they're a blast because he has amazing stories. And like I said, he's the most interesting Mac. So,
yeah,
so let me call him up and get him in here. So give me a sec, Brian. I might mute you for a second so they don't hear the ring. Give me a second. Call. Second him in here. Oh, good. It doesn't ring when I'm calling. Perfect. I can still hear you, Brian.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna get Captain Dan in here. Once he comes on, I'll do the introduction, and we'll bring him in with a round of applause from the live studio audience. Here we go. Captain Dan will have to mute us in the background. And then
Yep. You're muted. Yeah, I got you. Got you off now.
Let's see. Guest party split. There it is. Bringing in Captain Dan, the most interesting Mac. Woo! What's up, Captain Dan?
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, sounds good. Happy birthday.
All right.
So tomorrow's...
Hey, thank you so much. It's so funny. For all year long, I've had no problem with internet buffering, and this thing's been buffering and buffering and buffering. So hopefully it's not too messed up.
Awesome. Everybody says happy birthday in the chat. Got Dave Rage. What's up, Kevin? Nice to see you in here. Mr. Fishing_reps.
It's all good. Oh, yeah. Here, Duke. I apologize. Duke is my vet told me Duke's 11 years old. He's in Newfoundland and he's getting senile. So he barks at imaginary squirrels and varmints, and he likes to look at the fireplace and bark at it. I don't know why, but anyway, okay. I gotta get myself ready here.
Let's go.
So
on a scale of 1 to 10,
got the correct cup.
Oh, nice.
Tiki room cup.
And this says hashtag not sponsored, but I ought to be.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Oh, got me in the eye.
Oh, nice. All right, give the score in the chat. Scale of 1 to 10. Bonus points for getting the eye.
Really? Here you go.
That's so funny. Got Brett Wilson.
There
Happy
it
birthday,
is.
Dan. Don't know you, but you get compared to the Dos Equis guy. That's got to be a stud. Nice.
Yeah, this was really.
Man,
let me make sure it's fresh.
There we go.
Yep, it's fresh.
Cheers.
It's all good.
Okay, so not only is it Captain Dan's birthday, but we also have a cool trip planned. That unfortunately, this will be the last time we can do it, right? Because the place we're going with is going. They're selling their properties or something. They're going out of business.
They sold the property, but you seem to have a track record with shutting down operations.
I know. That's so funny.
Shut down the Islander.
I know. So,
but this place has been in operation for decades. I've personally been there 27 times in probably 25 years. So it's very sad. It's been a big development company from mainland Mexico bought it. And they're probably going to take the bulldozer to it and put up a bunch of luxury homes. Just down the beach, about 2 miles down the beach. I forget the name of the hotel. It's the Omni or whatever. But the rooms there start at $1,200 a night.
Wow.
And at the ranch, they're like, well, maybe 200. You know, and that includes your food.
Yeah, the prices are so good. So for those of you that don't know, we put it out. And I know, like I said earlier, we have a lot of stuff happening in the club and a lot of options for doing things on weekends and overnights and all that good stuff. It's good because you guys have a lot of options, but it might be too much for some of you, right? So here's just one other option. So right now we're going to Rancho Leonero. That's the facility. That's what it's called. It's like a private place with about 20 rooms, 23 rooms, right? Around there.
I think 32.
Okay, and so
not too many.
So we put it out. We're going September 8th. We're leaving September 8th. I think it's a Friday, and we're coming back on the 13th. So we're fishing for 4 days. Going to Ampangas. Brian and I are gonna be roomies. Eric the judge and Eric Klein are going as well. They're gonna be roomies. And
good.
And then Captain Dan is going. Is George going?
I've got my usual group. I probably got 10 or 15 people going, and our group is coming in on the 8th and staying till the 17th.
Oh, okay, cool. So we're gonna overlap there. Perfect.
So that's what typically happens. We all overlap it, you know. And in fact, I'm going to be flying in from Supercross in Charlotte, North Carolina, and so I'm going to miss the first 2 days when you guys are there. But I'll be there ready to rock and roll, and we're all going to go out with Santos on. What is it? Monday? Is it Monday the 11th? I think it is. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, hey, Brian! Before I forget,
yes.
You know, I know you're a Supercross fan, but I didn't have to hit one whoop or hit one jump.
No way! Where'd you get that?
Cool.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, they gave me a number 1 plate because I made sure that everybody, my crew of 105 people, was well taken care of.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So
that is awesome.
It's like when has a Dos Equis guy ever ran the Supercross show? Right?
I will tell you probably the best Supercross thing I ever did was years and years ago. Keith Olbermann, who's been a political kind of guy for many years on television, he was a sports guy at KTLA Channel 5. And they wanted to show kind of a goofy setup. He was going to be at the set with some handlebars, kind of, going like this with the bars and riding around the track. Well, back then, there was no such thing as a GoPro. So I had a giant camera and deck, separate camera, separate recorder. And I rode on the back of Ricky Johnson's motorcycle. And we rode all around the track, including we jumped down the peristyle with me on the back of the bike and all the television equipment.
At the LA Coliseum then, right?
The only time I've ever jumped a peristyle. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And we lived to survive and tell about it.
That's crazy.
Rick Johnson, Jeff Ward, Mickey Diamond. Oh man, those are some big names.
So Captain Dan did us a huge favor on the show when he went out and got this for us. So this is like right thanks to Captain Dan.
Hello, race fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman,
Like, that's
AMA Hall of Fame.
Larry Supermouth Huffman, like the Sunday guy. It's like, so
yeah, that was him. What the club guys don't know is that there's a second version of that.
Oh yeah,
that the Roman won't play. Because I told Larry, let's have a little fun at Roman's expense.
I'll play it next week.
Okay, yeah,
I'll play it next week.
Funny.
It's so good.
The other thing is that I always get asked about Supercross, and people want to know if I really am a captain. So I have to. We'll do the show and tell and get it over with. But
Let's go.
this is my Coast Guard, my military ID.
Nice.
There it is. You know, that's once. This lets me get into secret places,
Oh,
and then this is what they give us now, and this is called the Merchant Mariner credential. And I will open it up and find a page with my picture somewhere. There it is. So that's what it looks like.
that's cool.
It's for real. Yeah, it's for real. So there you go. So those of you that I always get asked that.
So that lets you operate. That lets you operate what size boats or what size vessels?
Probably up to about 200 feet.
Oh wow, dang.
Yeah. So, and the one behind me, if you look that one right there, that's 90 feet, and that is the Spirit of Adventure. That's one of them I've run. But and I took that one to Hawaii. I think let's see, 8 days. I brought it over once. I think I brought it back twice. You know, so it's an 8-day trip and quite an adventure. We caught a lot of fish.
That's awesome.
You launched at San Diego and took that to Hawaii?
Yeah, the boat was built in '76. It's over at H&M Landing now. But we ran in Southern California. Got into a hurricane down in La Paz in September of '76, and the boat had to get towed back. We thank God we all lived. I mean, a lot of people died. It was a very sad thing.
Oh, wow.
Some of the other boats that went out to ride it out at sea didn't make it. But
oh, wow.
because thank God we had some engine troubles for a fairly new boat, we wound up taking out a cement company dock, and the boat wound up on the beach. And a Mexican destroyer pulled us off the beach. And then to get it back to pay the Mordida and get it out of Mexico, we had our insurance agent literally showed up with $100,000 cash. It looked like, what was that show with Howie? They opened up the briefcase. He opened up a briefcase with $100,000 in cash in it to show us, and he started paying off people to get us out of there.
Oh my gosh!
And we got towed back by an Australian, a renegade Australian tugboat that wasn't allowed in the United States, and they towed us to Ensenada. And then turns out two of the other boats that I wound up running, the Bottom Scratcher and the Sand Dollar, the Bottom Scratcher came down and met us down in Mexico and towed us up to San Diego. And then ultimately, several years later, I wound up running that boat. So yeah, it's been. Wow. I got my first license in 1976, and I'm on my.
Was that a dive boat?
Yeah, at the time it was, yeah. Yeah, but we did plenty of fishing, especially in Kona. You know, we all got pretty good at that.
That's cool.
Trolling and
man.
Yeah.
So many
good stuff.
So many good adventures. But at the time, you know, like it's probably scary, but it's great to look back on and be like, man.
It is, considering that I was 25 years old, given to be the captain of a 90-foot multi-million-dollar boat.
It's a lot of responsibility.
You know,
yeah.
It's pretty good. But the flip side is that I started out, and I tell this to the TV crew guys. They're called runners and utilities. You know, they're making $250 a day to just do stuff, and sometimes they have a hard time figuring out that it's time to empty a trash can. You know, so I'm I'm the boss of this whole mess. You know, I've got 105 people on the television crew, and I'll get them together and say, I'm going to teach you guys something today. It's very important. When I was a deckhand, I worked for $10 a day for a 24-hour day, cleaning up people's crap and vomit and trash and God knows everything else, because I needed to get sea time, 730 days at sea. I was making $10 a day. And one of the things I learned how to do was throw garbage. So I get, okay, guys, so now here's how we do this. And I would literally pull a trash bag out of the garbage can. I would zip it up and say, tie it up. See how I'm tying it? And that's how I want you guys to do it. I have to do it almost every week, because you know, these guys that are making $250 a day to stand around and stare at the sky. They're not motivated.
They're not taking initiative. They're not taking that initiative.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so many.
All right, so,
go ahead.
So this year for you is going to be a long year, right? Because they combined Supercross and Motocross into one full season. So are you working both? You said.
I'm working them all.
Wow,
I used to work. Years ago, I've produced Supercross years ago. I've directed motocross for 11 years, but now they've combined, and then for the last 14 years for Lucas Oil, I was in charge of the motocross out in the field, and I did that for 14 years. And we did 12 events. Now we've combined Feld Entertainment, the guys that do the circus and Disney on the Ice and all that. They've taken over the television, so there's 17 Supercrosses, which we just finished the other night in Salt Lake City. And so then now we've got a week off, and then motocross starts. There's 12 of those, and then there's a international World Series. One's in Charlotte, North Carolina, one's in Chicago, and the third one's at LAX. And so we've got a total of 31 events. So, you know, I mean, I never expected at 72 years old to be working this hard, but, you know, it's like I'm taking my own advice. I just tell people, hey, take the money. So
yeah, that's
what I'm doing.
that's a busy schedule for sure.
Yeah, it kind of cut in. Of course, the weather's been so crappy around here that it's not like I've been missing any spearfishing or anything. It's been pretty bad. And then we had a red tide.
Yeah,
I
went diving. I dove La Jolla with a friend, just snorkeling around and diving around, no spearfishing. And about 2 weeks ago, like 2 Sundays ago, and it was bad. It was like a week after the red tide, so it's still kind of blown out. Pretty murky.
So the other thing that someone every so often, either George or Arnie or somebody says, you know, he was in a helicopter crash. Well, I wasn't in a helicopter crash. I was in a plane crash. So I'm going to give you guys a little show and tell. I'm going to tell you the story, and I'll have a little show and tell. I survived a plane crash on Ocotillo Wells in February 2nd, 1987.
Wow.
We were shooting an off-road promotional video. The pilot had been flying for 34 years and never so much as chipped a piece of paint off his airplane. This day, he got busy watching me instead of flying the airplane.
Oh
we flew through our own wake at about 200 feet off the deck, and we started going down left wingtip first. So what I've learned about flying since then, and a lot, is you put the aircraft into a nosedive, which allows you to pick up airspeed, regain control of the aircraft, go like this, and then just happily fly away. Well, as the NTSB, you can check out the report to February 2nd, 1987, Ocotillo Wells. You can read the whole report.
Interesting.
But see, what happens is that when the ground is here and you're trying to go like this, but you don't make it, this is what you do. You go straight in. And the pilot literally jumped out of the plane about 15 feet before we hit. I had no idea that we were about to crash because now remember, I'm a TV camera guy. This eye's closed.
Oh my gosh.
This little viewfinder, it's a little teeny black and white TV set in there. And I'm shooting the guy, the action. And then I'm going like this. And then I'm going like this as the plane's doing that. And I'm going like this. Hey, what's going on? He goes, we're going in. And I opened up my eye. And I said, thank God I only had that much time to know we were about to crash. And I said, oh, snap. That's what you say when you hit the ground, but maybe it wasn't that white. Maybe a word with 4 letters that starts with this. And the plane just kind of disintegrated around me. And the number one question that everybody in the video business has always asked, did you get the shot? Well, of course I did, all the way into the ground. So
that shot's still around?
The NTSB has it, and the FAA has it, and the equipment was destroyed, so they had to extricate it in a lab and get the tape out of the machine.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, I've got it somewhere. Yeah, it's not the story's more exciting than the footage itself. So that being said, it's a Cessna 170, and I'll show you a couple pictures just because people have asked me about it. Let's see if I can do this, and so you can see it. Let me look and see how Roman's. Okay, so it kind of bounced and then planted itself like a tree.
Oh yeah, I see it. Dang.
See that?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's maybe another shot.
That's from the back, yeah.
Yep, you can see the front end broke off. Now there's always
like a lawn door.
On TV, they always explode, right?
Yeah.
So I was really nervous about it exploding. Of course, now I was wearing contacts. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear. My mouth, everything was filled with dirt and sand.
Oh my gosh.
And this is what the cockpit looked like.
Oh my.
Wow.
And
man.
I was hanging upside down. I weighed about 40 pounds less than I do now. And even at 180 pounds, I couldn't get the seatbelt off. And I'm thinking, this thing's going to explode. It's going to explode. I got to get out.
Gosh.
But I finally was able to get out and then realized I can't move. So I got on my elbows and I couldn't see, but I knew I just had to get away from the airplane, like going like this, pulling myself with my elbows. And I didn't see the pictures I'm showing you. I didn't see for a year after the crash. I hadn't seen them for a year. So as I told the story, I said, yeah, I got probably about 100 feet away from the aircraft because they always explode on TV and I didn't want to be near it when they exploded. So I'll show you. Here's just a shot of that's me at age 36, whatever, half my age I am now. And the paramedics now immobilizing me so I don't broke my back, pretty much broke a lot of things.
How long till the paramedics got there?
It took a little while. It took a while. Then the scary part was that they had me so tied up that I couldn't move anymore. And then they put me into a life flight helicopter.
Oh my God.
It was like a washing machine out of balance and flew me to San Diego. But as I started to say, I remember I thought that I was like 100 feet away from the plane. That's as far as I made it.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even make it not even past the wing.
Oh,
that's as far as I made it.
Yoke has a question. Danny says, did the pilot make it?
Pilot made it. He jumped out of the plane, landed on his feet and compressed vertebrae. And he got he cut his forehead right here, which is really a bloody kind of thing. Yeah. So he had blood all here. My blood was all up in here and everywhere else, but you couldn't see it on my face. Yeah. And that's just me. I think they just shot me up with some morphine and everything, and took my reattached my leg into the normal position after they did that, because everything was located. And okay, this is now. I'll warn you. This shot's a little bit graphic. It's the only one I'll show of the injuries. But if you're squeamish,
look away.
Look away for about 5 seconds, and that's kind of like that where he's got my foot.
It's only a toe.
I could actually touch that toe to my neck.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, okay, it's clear. You're good.
Yeah, the leg. Oh, thankfully, like nothing came apart. That's like that's so lucky.
Yeah. So anyway, that was pretty much it changed my life. I'm lucky to be alive. The first thing that I did after that, that was February of 1987. In July of 1987, I wound up finally being able to get back to work. And I worked at Laguna Seca, and it was a road race. And I was in a helicopter. And there's a picture of me with an ESPN camera, and I'm hanging out the side of the helicopter. And I literally used a cane, and I was wearing what's called a Jewett back brace, which looks like a shark jaw.
Yeah.
To keep because I broke my back in a few places. And this kept my posture, my back from getting all, hunchback and everything else.
Oh my gosh.
People thought, are you crazy? You have a death wish? No, it was pilot error, total pilot error. But I always, from now on, if I go in a small aircraft, I always make sure the pilot knows what the hell he's doing. Ask him if he's done video work before, and make sure that they have. And so I said, okay, you pay attention to what you're doing. I'll let you know if I need something from you. Just do what I tell you to do, and we'll be good. So that's been it. So, the other thing, it's kind of a fun thing to say about it, is that whenever I fly a lot, I've got over 1 million miles just on United Airlines. And so when I'm with a nervous traveler every so often, I don't tell them why. I just say, this is going to be statistically the safest flight you're ever going to fly on. So
that's hilarious.
Anyway. Yeah,
oh
there you go. That's my story.
Guys, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. If you're ever at an event with Captain Dan, like Captain Dan shows up to most of our things. So if you ever see him, like he's hosted us and done like awesome pizza parties, like awesome guy. Ask him questions, guys. He's got ton of stories, and he doesn't mind sharing. So I love hearing stories from Captain Dan. So
sadly, they're all true.
Oh, I know, that's so crazy.
We need to have like a campfire event where we just listen to the Captain Dan stories. I'm hoping for that. Kevin at Fishy says there should be a movie made about you, Captain Dan.
I am in a book. There was a book written. I am in a book, and I'll boy, this is. Yeah, I'll tell this one.
Yeah. Let's go.
When we were in the hurricane in Mexico, and this is part of side of me you may not know. After the hurricane, and there was a couple girls that worked on the boat, the galley girls, and good looking, blonde, and everything. And the longer we stayed in Mexico and tried to get ourselves out and get the boat out, we were becoming more and more visible to people that were probably not good people. We literally had a plan because we were starting to hear that these guys were going to try to get on the boat and rape these two girls.
Jeez.
And we had a plan that we literally were going to dispatch them. I'll leave it at that. If that happened, we would dispatch them, and we were going to leave the boat and just head for the border. We had a Volkswagen van that I rented, and we were just going to leave.
Wow.
And that was one of the that's actually a book, a story about this whole thing. And it's not one of the more pleasant parts of my life, but it was a real
like a real situation you ended up in.
We're gonna have to defend somebody. Yeah. I've never told that story before, so the first time you guys are hearing it from me.
That's super intense, because like
scary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's like one of those things that you don't think about, and then if you end up in that situation, like, what would you do? It's like, well, yeah,
it's exactly right. What would you do?
Yeah,
we had a plan, and fortunately you didn't have to act on it, but when you're
just the idea that you had to come up with that plan, that's like pretty intense.
Jeff, let's just say I was 50 years younger, so you have probably a little more testosterone and a little more,
Yeah.
Dan. One cool tuner calls you Gangster Dan. Or no, sorry, Metal Art does. And one cool tuner wants to know, what is the name of the book?
God's Phone Number, I believe it's called. I think it's called God's Phone Number. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's
the guy wrote. And there's this whole section in there about our adventures in the hurricane. Thank God we all survived. Like I said earlier, we survived. There's many others that didn't. They lost 3,000 residents in La Paz during the hurricane, Hurricane Liza, 1976. So yeah, I've been, my life. You guys are both probably a little too young for this, but Eric may know about this, and One Cool Tuna. When we were kids, I don't know, maybe you do know. When we were kids, there was these things, and it was like a clown, and you'd inflate the clown, and then you'd punch the clown. The thing would go down to the ground and come back up.
Of course.
And go back. You'd punch it again.
Yeah.
Did they have that when you were kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what my life has been. I keep getting punched. I go down, and I come back. I've taken the hits. I've got 3 brothers and a sister, and they're like they barely have scratches on them. And I've taken a broken neck, broken back, broken God knows everything else, and they lucky. So anyway, that's my personal story. There you go.
That's awesome. So again, thanks for taking the time to share that with us, Captain Dan. I know it's like something that's tough to talk about those things, but I'm glad you shared it with shared that with us. And again, I'm so happy that you're part of the group. And I don't know, I feel like you're like a mentor to myself and a lot of the guys in the club, just in like your energy and the stuff you do, and your like willingness to keep doing cool stuff, like if Captain Dan's out here shooting like motocross like every other weekend, you have nothing to cry about. We're just doing a little spotty bowl here and there. It's like,
people say, why don't you just retire? I like, what? Here's some advice. I don't know what all you guys do for a living, but if you don't enjoy what you're doing for a living, find something that you do enjoy doing. Because this isn't like, I've been working for my whole career. I've never had a sit-down job. I've worked pretty much every weekend. I've been a dive instructor, a boat captain, a cameraman, whatever, a television producer, a fishing show producer, and none of those were in a cubicle. Although there's some video editing now and then, but I've been very fortunate, to choose the things I want to do, and maybe some of them I just fell into.
Yeah. Well, what up? Shout out to Muto. I see you in the chat. What up, Muto? And then Salty says, "Welp, looks like I need a new job." Nice.
Well, I said something one time that insulted Salty, and I'll apologize again. I made some comment that when I go fishing, I don't like to catch those little fish.
That's so particular.
Yeah, I never meant it. I didn't mean it to be insulting, but I meant to. What I meant
Just
is that
tell the truth, man.
I like going out in catching in the ocean and catching fish and having the crap kicked out of me, and like the one 2 hours and 45 minutes. You guys watch Wicked Tuna?
Yeah.
You ever see when they fight a tuna for a few hours or 6 hours and they lose it?
Oh,
that
my
happened
gosh.
to me at 2 hours and 45 minutes off San Clemente Island.
Oh, gosh.
And every time I see it on TV, God, I relive it and just pisses me off that I lost that fish.
Yeah, we had an outing. We had an outing with some friends before, and we had caught it might have been the outing where we caught that 300-pound tuna, and then we hooked up on another tuna, and one of the guys fought it the whole way. He fought it for like a good 45 minutes, and then like it just snapped. Like, and I was videoing the whole time, getting like a bunch of B-roll and stuff. But yeah,
it's the worst.
Yeah,
it's the worst. But it's a happy day for that fish.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
If any of you guys have any specific questions, I'm looking at the chat over here. Be happy to answer them, or if you can, one of you guys, if they see something I missed, I'm happy to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Try to
drop
answer
your questions in the
questions.
chat, boys. If you have any questions.
Did you once work with Guy Harvey?
No, I met him. Does that count?
It counts.
Gotcha.
Oh, we should.
I remember you talking about it a while ago.
Yeah, no. I did a fishing show. I can't remember. I think we interviewed him. Maybe that was it. But right now, the fishing show that I'm on is called The Fishmonger.
Yep.
And in fact, we're shooting it next week here in San Diego.
Well, good
It's
question.
on Outdoor Channel.
Can you give out the location?
They haven't told me yet.
The fishing monger show. What channel does that air on?
It's called The Fishmonger, and it's on Outdoor Channel.
Perfect.
And this will be, I think, season 3. Tommy Gomes, I'll give a little plug.
Yeah.
If you guys if you don't catch a big fish, you want to go buy some big fish, go in over at Driscoll's Wharf, which is just to the, the sport docks here. So go around, I guess, to the east, over by Driscoll's Wharf. And you can park back in there. It's free. There's a place called Chula Seafoods, and then Tunaville Market and Grocery. And Tommy and his partner, the guy that is Mitch's Seafoods, they're at Point Loma. They're partners, and they opened up this seafood store, and they sell stuff at a really good price. Perfect. So anyway, Tommy, this whole thing with the Fishmonger, if you ever went to a Fred Hall show and you saw Scott Layseth and the Sporting Chef, and you sat there and he cooked and gave you samples of rattlesnake and I don't know what else, whatever. And anyway, Tommy would break down a fish. He'd take a big yellowtail, and he's been a fishing guy all his life, and he's a rock star with the chefs here in San Diego. He is a total rock star when it comes to fish. And so he says to one day at the Fred Hall show, I'm talking to Scott because we're both kind of TV sporting guys and TV guys. We're talking, and Tommy comes up and says, "Hey, I've got an idea for a TV show." And when you would not believe, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, I could go buy a new car. And so Scott looked at me and we looked at each other. We both rolled our eyes and go, "All right, let's hear it." So he pitched the show, and we both said, "Well, it's different." And so it turns out Scott had a good in because he does a show called Dead Meat and Sporting Chef and Ranch America for the outdoor group. He pitched the Fishmonger, and the Outdoor Channel actually pays for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, so it shows a little different than what Tommy had pitched to us, but nonetheless, actually every so often you get one that works.
Perfect.
So the show's on Outdoor Channel. If you don't have Outdoor Channel, like I don't, but there's a subscription thing called Friendly TV. It's like $5 a month, and it's got like 40 channels. I subscribe to that. There's Sportsman Channel, World Fishing Network, and Outdoor Channel are all on there. Are all on there for $5 a month. So not too bad.
We got a good question coming in from Todd over at TB Art. So TB Art. He says, "What is your best moment fishing?" That's kind of a hard one.
Ooh,
my best moment fishing was probably with Santos down in Cia Cortez at Rancho Leonero. I'll tell my worst moment. I'll tell that in a minute. But this is one of Todd. This will be one of my best moments and one of the funniest moments. So I've caught all kinds of fish. I've shot all kinds of fish, but I never caught a rooster fish. So, and there's a lot of technique to catching a rooster fish, obviously, that I didn't know. So I hook into this thing. We're near if you've been down to Rancho Leonero or East Cape, there's a lighthouse and there's a bay right next to the lighthouse. So we're over there and I hook into a rooster fish and you can see it, and its little things are up in the water and all that. And I'm fighting it, and apparently I wasn't fighting it right. And Santos is just giving me hell and just ripping me a new a-hole, and I'm just trying to catch the damn fish. So I finally get this thing in, and I finally said, I turned and I said, Santos, I've never caught one of these before. And now remember, he's just for the last 10 minutes, he's just ripping me a new one. He goes, oh, you did very good, senor. So I think that was it. That was one of my funniest, a great moment, because I love telling the story about how I was clueless with rooster fish and now I'm an expert suddenly. Other than the fish that 2 3/4 hours that I lost on San Clemente Island, I've got a scar. I don't know if you can see, there's a scar right there. And I got that from about a 16-foot black marlin.
Oh, wow.
And over in Hawaii. And I was 1973, the first time I ever went to Hawaii. And I chartered a boat with my brother and another dive instructor buddy of mine. And it's my turn in the chair. And so catch this fish, they hook up this fish, and we're using these big Pan International reels, the big gold ones. And so now I'm hanging on, my feet are on the gunnel. I'm trying not to get pulled overboard. Someone's hanging on to me. Jeez. And this fish jumps a couple times. Boats all around saw it. I never saw it. And as I almost went overboard, the reel is just pulling out line like crazy. My hand just happened to touch the line. It was like a buzzsaw, just cut right into my hand.
Oh my God.
And right after that, they weren't getting enough water on the reel fast enough to cool it off, and it totally just exploded. So I crashed and burned back into the seat. The fish went away, and the reel was in pieces. And it's just, like I said, I kind of I'm into the big fish thing, but this fish was so big I never even saw it. But boats all around, everybody saw it, except me.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think about that power.
Yeah, but it's I wouldn't say that there's any. I have lots of funny stories. There's a lot of stories like that, but I don't know that there's been a memorable fish, a memorable one. They've just, I just love fishing. I love doing it. But, like I said, I didn't mean to, when I said that I don't like catching those little fish, I wasn't being insulting. It's just, I just have not had that experience. I've never really fished in the bay.
Sounds like you like to catch fish that could potentially murder you.
Yeah. When I was running the boats, I used to have a Garcia Mitchell 300, a little tiny spinning reel, and a Roddy buggy whip. And I'd be at San Clemente Island while the divers are in the water and all that. I used to catch calicos, and I had a blast. It was like you guys catching spotties, And I've just there was the fight with this under-equipped guy with all the with this tiny little rig, and have fun with catching the calicos and tossing them back.
That's awesome.
That's one of my favorite moments. Actually, that's one of my best memories of fishing, is catching all those calicos at San Clemente Island.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I have a question here from Brett Wilson. It says, Dan, have you ever fished Cedros Island? And if so, what was your biggest yellowtail there?
Yes. And let's see. Also white sea bass. Let's see. Was it on the bottom scratch or a spirit? I think it was on. We didn't go there very much, because we spent more time at Bonitas than Cedros. 42-pound yellowtail. And I've got a picture of me with a white sea bass that I speared. If you just a side story here, white sea bass are known as ghosts. They're known as biscuits. They're known as all sorts of things. They're very elusive fish. Usually you see them a few times of the year. They're very prolific off Palos Verdes Point up in the LA area. And it's one of those, it's on the bucket list of most spear fishermen to get a white sea bass.
Yeah.
And so I'm out there at a place. We named all the different spots where we would dive. This one we called Shannon Saddle. It was named after our cook. Her name was Shannon. So we made the mountain looked like a saddle, so we called it Shannon Saddle. I'm out there with I'm going to equate it to, say, a Walmart fishing rig, okay, just to give you guys the thing. But you go to Walmart and spend $29 for a combo Shimano or something, Daiwa. So except this was a spear gun. It was a Voigt Swim Master 4G44 sawed-off Magnum. And I was just looking, what I was looking for was a big-ass calico to bring back and cook. And this white sea bass had to be retarded because they had no clue. And I just looked, I said, what the hell? There's a big white sea bass right there. I better shoot it. So I shot it. You know, you got to be kidding me. You know, I mean, that was, and then they usually go down to the bottom and they wrap themselves around the kelp, and then you've got to do several drops to go get it.
Yeah, before the seven gill show up.
I did what's called, thank God I did this. It's called, I stoned it, which in the spearfishing world means you hit it and it instantly paralyzed and it may not have died. It was instantly paralyzed.
Yeah, you nick the spine or you hit the spine. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
that was my Cedros and Benias adventures.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do wisdom of the week sometimes when the coach gets on here. Do you want to do wisdom of the week with Captain Dan?
I would say
let me intro it. Here we go.
Wisdom of the week.
I would say the wisdom of the week, and let's say wisdom of the life, is do what you enjoy doing. You know, find yourself something that you can make either make a living from or just be happy doing, and it's worked for me. You know, I mean, first off, nobody believes I'm 72. I have more energy than most of the guys half my age on the TV crew, and I love doing what I do. You know, I like doing things with people. I like making pizza for people, except for pineapple. And you know, it's just, that's what I say. Just make yourself happy. That's, you know, I'm at that point in my life. You know, I don't know how many more quarters I have left in my life. You know, so I'm trying to maybe slow down the work a little bit, but people keep wanting me to do stuff, and I enjoy doing it, so I might as well. My sentence for that would be, play as hard as you work.
Perfect.
Okay,
There you go.
play as hard as you work.
Awesome.
You know?
So with that, thank you, guys. Stay tuned because we're still gonna do PB shoutouts. So we have a long show for you guys tonight. But we're gonna sign off, Captain Dan. With that, Captain Dan, happy birthday.
A couple things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Things.
Oh, you know, we do have a couple things. Go ahead.
We do have a couple
we
things.
do.
Yeah. Sorry,
First
guys.
off, for those of you guys that you know that Arnie and a lot of you guys are all support CCA. We've got the CCA banquet June 17th, Apps and Taps 2. It's going to be at the Portuguese Hall, and it's $75. A lot of good giveaway stuff, a lot of good food. I am actually supplying pizza as one of the food stations.
So cool.
And so if you want to have some pizza that I make for you, but I won't be there, but I will have made it. But anyway, it's Support CCA, which is our organization that allows us to keep fishing. The other thing is that CCA has been working with several others with if you have not heard of the 30 by 30, it means right. The government would like to take 30% of the just ocean and area and
public
put
lands
it,
as well,
any
right?
area and put it into a reserve or a no zone, don't do anything zone
But don't use
by
zone.
2030.
Yep.
Fortunately, right now we've kind of because of CCA and others, we've got made an effort to get ourselves a place at the table. It looks like there won't be any more MPAs, Marine Protection Act areas enacted, and they will be reviewed. And it's been a huge, I'm not going to say win, but a huge step forward.
Yep.
And So if you are into anything, fishing, hunting, bird watching, off-road, hiking, it's not just the ocean. It's inland. It's everywhere. Desert. If you're into the desert, all that stuff. It's just all I'm going to say. You know, it's too complicated to go into right now, and you guys got to look at pictures. Be vigilant. Learn about 30-30 and be vigilant. Just keep your eyes and on it, and know that Arnie and myself and others in CCA, we're also being vigilant.
So we have. I'm sorry I did that earlier, guys. I just completely blanked. But yeah, we do have time for this kind of stuff because this stuff is important. So first of all, what you need to do if you're any kind of outdoor enjoyer, do not to be an angler. At this point, we're talking about just even stuff as basic as hiking, right? So imagine all your favorite places you'd like to go hike, and then 30% of that gets shut down, right? So that's a lot bigger than just fishing, right? Which makes it easier for us to kind of share that information with people and get that, because it makes it a stake for somebody else, right? It makes a whole bunch of more people stakeholders, and it's going to affect more people, right? If you're just talking about fishing, for somebody that's not interested in fishing, they just go buy the fish from the store. It might not convince them, right? But if you're talking about just hiking, something as basic as hiking, something that pretty much everybody does, right? Like that is a bigger deal, right? And I think approaching it from that angle is a good way to get more people involved. If you're not already, you should be a member of CCA. And there's a link in the chat. At any point, you can type in !CCA during any of our broadcasts, and I'll give you a link to their site. On that link, you can go and sign up for annual membership. You can sign up for a lifetime membership. You can donate to CCA if you don't have time to go volunteer. You can donate. You can help that way. I think the Apps and Taps ticket includes a renewal.
It does. Yeah.
Okay.
Brett asked a question. The date is June 17th, and it's at the Portuguese Hall in Point Loma. And just by a survey, if you think you're going to go, would you just put going? I'm just curious. Just put going in the chat. Just type in going, and just see. We're sort of planning things out, and like I said, a lot of good prizes. And I won't see you there, but I'll be there in spirit. I'll be in. I don't know where I'll be.
You'll be doing awesome stuff. Be doing awesome stuff.
I could be in Pennsylvania or Maryland or New York, or I have no clue.
Are you going, Brian?
I'm gonna try to go. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
If Kevin's gonna be there, I'll be there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Kevin's gonna be there.
Because if there's gonna be dancing like last time, I'll be there.
Oh my gosh.
Kevin's the master of ceremonies.
Oh, then I'll definitely.
So he'll probably get a Mai Tai conga line going of some sort.
Yeah, exactly.
Good guys. So it looks like if everyone's going that says you pretty much got a table. What Arnie will do is last year we did this formal arrangement for tables. But if there's this many people going, Arnie, if you would. Kind of coordinate this so that they all wind up at a table and there's be gifts at the table and that whole sort of thing.
That'd be
awesome. Looks like
awesome.
I have 11 people if my counting right, or 12 people. 11 or 12. So yeah, it's a table.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. It's also a good opportunity to just kind of talk smack to Kevin while he's up there trying to MC.
Yeah, it's true. And good food.
Yeah, definitely good food.
Especially the pizza without pineapple.
Right.
Nice.
Hey, and you know what? The raffle prizes were really
There's
good.
Some good ones.
Bring a little bit of cash, guys, and buy some of the tickets. And there's some nice prizes that are given out there.
There's some good ones. There's some trips, and I don't even know what it's. You know what? Hats off to Arnie. He's been heading that up while I've been out of town, so I don't really. I don't even know how all the stuff that's there, but there's a ton of stuff, and it's good.
Perfect.
Including a helicopter ride.
Oh, that's right.
From a buddy of mine, Steve Wright, the former ATV champion. He owns a Bell Jet Ranger, and he loves to fly it. So it's that'll be another prize. Yeah. So there you go.
Kevin's setting himself up. He says heckling is welcome. Oh, Kevin.
And Izzy,
better watch out. This is a rowdy group of guys in here.
And Izzy said Brian should work on his line dancing for this event. Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Arnie says there's a trip to La Paz is in the mix.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a fun place to fish.
So you guys, if you want to type this in, if anyone wants to contact me, if you want to put my email address, in the chat there, Roman, if you do, it's captain.danwalsh@gmail.com. If you want to contact me, and I'm, welcome to give advice. I got all the advice you want. You just just ask.
Perfect.
No shortage of words here.
Perfect.
Anyway, time to hang up on me.
No, hang on. There's something else, right?
Is there?
We got
We got the
Rancho
ranch,
Nero. We got absent
Yeah,
tabs.
that-
And we got
30
by
absent
30.
taps.
Okay.
There you go.
If you don't take anything away from today, guys, the one thing you got to do, you should do is join CCA, and just get more informed on 30 by 30, so you're able to talk about it with your friends, especially with your friends that don't fish, right? Get them involved, build up that awareness, right? And because that's what's gonna help us down the road. There's also going to be a tequila distillery coming to the sample. Oh my gosh, tequila distillery. That's dangerous.
I've read the same thing. That
Oh
could
my
be.
gosh.
Hey, Kevin, maybe you can get your instead of a Mai Tai conga line, get a tequila conga
Oh
line
my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
going on that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun event, guys. So we'll probably, as the MMFC crew, will probably end up shutting the place down, and going.
It's an annual thing to do.
And walking down the street to get burritos afterwards, just to work off that buzz.
I think we need a part 2, Captain Dan. Are you willing to do a part 2 in a couple months? Maybe
Sure.
August. All right. Yeah. There's so many stories I want to hear out
So
of you. So
good.
Captain Dan, part
I
2.
got
You
more.
guys want a part 2? I want a part 2.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
You got it.
Perfect. All right, Captain Dan, thank you so much for tuning in, for helping us do this, make another great show. I think your episodes are like the most popular episodes on this whole show.
It's
So
fun.
appreciate you
So
taking the
do I
time.
get to hang up on myself? I always love hanging up on myself. Watch this. See
All
this,
right.
guys. Watch what happens. Goodbye.
All right, see you later. Taking Captain Dan out with the round of
Yeah,
applause for the live studio audience. Woo! Once again, Captain Dan, you rock. Awesome. Yeah, guys, Captain Dan is also on our Discord, so you could give him happy birthday wishes. Tomorrow's his official birthday, so tomorrow is the actual day. But always a blast having him on. Like I said, mentor for the group, mentor for myself. I've known Captain Dan since I started since 2010, 2009. When I was doing the Spear podcast, and he reached out to me, and we had lunch one day, and he's just been an awesome dude ever since. And like we've always talked, and I see him like an extra grandfather to my, like an extra dad I can reach out to about random questions, and he's always has good advice, and he doesn't just say the first thing that pops into his head. He kind of like thinks about what you're asking, and gives good advice. So hey, if he's putting it out there, he's saying you can reach out to him, and you need that type of person in your life that's gonna give you some advice from an experienced angle, guys, take advantage of it. Like especially this day and age, it's difficult to have someone that's like that, open and willing to help, right? And that's part of the whole ethos of this club, the whole ethos of this whole show, is to help each other as much as possible, of course, in fishing, but hey, why not in life, right? So with that, let's keep it going. PB shoutouts, baby.
That's right. Speaking of jobs, Captain Dan was talking to jobs. I turned down a job where I was going to get paid in vegetables. I turned it down because the celery was unacceptable. Let's get this thing rolling.
God,
Let's
dude.
get some PB shoutouts. Let's get Cal on here. Cal's on tonight, so let's get going.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see.
we got a new picture of Cal.
PB shoutouts. All right, I'm ready. You have
Oh.
the share up?
Oh,
That's what I thought. The story and the knife you received, Mad Max, was a cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I still have it. All right, here we go.
roll this.
We've seen you out on the water. They say you fishing harder. I guess we'll find out this week on our PB Shout Out!
Let's go. And if you don't know who that is up front, that is Cal holding double fist in the fish like he does all the time. If you guys want to be on PB Shoutouts and Brian Likes to Fish, that's me. On Discord is what I prefer, or on Instagram, pictures and a story, and I'll put on anything. Just send me a picture and it'll be on. Except for you, Peter 86. You've been banned. No.
Nice.
All right. First up. I'm already choking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Wait, did he take that Spotty out on a movie set or what? Like, go back?
Bam. Sorry.
That's so funny. Oh, it's just a beautiful sky. I thought it was like a backdrop, dude. It looked
That
like
is
a blue
killer
screen.
picture. I've seen more and more of those hats too. Where did I get one of
That's
those
so
hats?
good.
Those hats are awesome. If you don't know who that is Aaron. He says he was fishing his Pin Force 3 coffee grinder. That's a big reel for a Spotty. He's horsing that thing in. On a Shimano Sinclair 8'6" medium, heavy, fast rod. Drop shot and a 4-inch gulp. What do you know? The good old gulp. San Diego Bay in the background. He says, a little scared because this might give away his secret spot. All I see is a boat cleat. So that's a hard one to do. If you know where that's at, you know San Diego Bay. Fought kind of like a halibut. When I first realized it had some jewelry. That's jewelry? And it started peeling drag.
Nice.
Fish 8-pound test, so I had to baby it back in the dark. Peeped over the edge and saw it, and my eyes lit up. Couple quick cranks, then a big bounce, and I was pumped.
Oh
He
my
said
gosh.
a couple of F yeses to myself. So there you go, Aaron.
There you go. Nice.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how to use my computer anymore. There we go. So if you see, that's a big one. That right there has got a gut. So
Oh
it's a
my gosh.
15-inch variety, but it's a heavy 15-inch variety. It looks like he's fishing the Nico rig to me. Is that what that looks like to you?
I can't tell.
I think so.
It's a swivel.
And he's got it on the gulp.
Very nice. Dude.
Joking. I am joking. All right, next up, if you don't know who that is Chad, the owner of Hookup Baits.
Dang, that's huge. That's a great
He gave
picture.
us all a break in
That's a
LA
great
this
picture.
week. Thank you, Chad, for finally giving us a break up in LA. He said, forget that, I haven't missed Spotty Bowl, but I'm going to go up to Alaska.
Oh,
And
wow.
so he gave us a break in Spotty Bowl, and Chad went up to Alaska. That right there is his PB steelhead trout.
That's a great shot.
Dang, that is enormous.
Yeah.
When I was talking to Chad this weekend, I thought that was a salmon, dude. I don't know why, but that thing is enormous.
Dude.
He said it was he caught 2 of them that size, 16 and 17 pound, both. Get this, both on a 1/16 hookup bait. And if you've ever seen a 1/16, that's tiny. 1/16 is tiny. That's crazy. Those elephants eat peanuts, right? I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
Salty said that's a weird looking Spotty.
where's your bump board at, Chad? Did you put that
Mouth
thing on
open,
it?
penalty.
There's the other one.
Dude.
Dang.
That's like a white sea bass almost.
And then this guy, bam.
Oh my god. Oh dang.
I know. He says, then a self-guided tour on a rental skiff. Yep.
Yeah,
Rent a skiff
nice.
on out Alaska. Why not? All the lean cod and rockfish you ever wanted, and 7 Alaskan halibuts. My PB. Guess how much that thing weighs?
Oh, it looks amazing. I don't know, like 100 pounds?
Chad would be the rock if he's holding that thing like that. If it was 100 pounds. So that is a 50-pound halibut
Oh my
right
gosh.
there. And he caught it on a 3-ounce, 4-ounce, and 6-ounce hookup baits. Geez, Chad, 6 ounce. I didn't even know they made. Look at the
Let's
size of that
go.
thing.
Jeez.
That is a huge hookup bait.
So-
Definitely trip of a lifetime. Highly recommend it. Yeah, that looks good.
Chad,
If
did you
can
get to bring
pull
all that
on
fish
a s-
home? That's a lot of good halibut right there, dude. Man.
Says he caught it on a Fenwick. Okay, here we go. If you don't know who that is another Spotty Slayer up north. That is B-Dub in chat, and that is Brett Wilson right there. Look, that's my style fish right there. Look at the size of the gut on
That's
that thing. He
fat,
says, this
dude.
is my biggest largemouth on a scale. Get this, 11 pounds, 3 ounces caught in 2015.
Gosh, dude.
Brett, I still have not got my 10-pound largemouth. Hunting, searching. So when somebody gets a 10-pound largemouth, I bet there's a very small percentage of bass fishermen that actually get a 10-pounder. So congratulations, Brett. That's a
Good.
huge. To get that 10-pound largemouth, that's a huge achievement.
That's like a
Every bass
cartoon,
angler
dude.
wants to get that number for some reason.
Jeez.
I've caught a couple other ones that were bigger, but just didn't have a scale on it. Whether it's freshwater or saltwater, bass is the game for me. That's right, Brett.
So good.
And there you wanted to show a couple of other ones that he caught. He said he caught these in El Dorado Park in Long Beach, just a park from shore, Roman.
What? That's great.
I know, a city park pond. And I caught it on a flipping gear, heavy action rod with 65-pound braid on a Texas rigged spider grub, straight horsed it in. This was in 2013. I didn't have a scale, but I think it was the biggest one I caught, which I think is that guy right there. Look at that thing.
Oh my gosh.
I think we need to take a trip up to the, where did he say this was?
Arnie knows where it's at. He said it's off the 605.
El Dorado Park. Man, you catch that from shore? Jeez.
That's cool.
There's not 100 rods in the water. And if you don't know who that is,
let's go.
Picture. I did not mess with this picture, by the way. That is how it came to me. And that is Peter 86.
That's a cool picture, actually.
It is a cool picture, Peter, but are you creeping? Got a lot of black on there, Peter. Peter hanging out at his normal spot. Looking serious there, Peter. I don't want to run into you in a dark aisle, Peter. Dark alley. You look angry for some reason, Peter. What's going on? Are you fishing with adobo or something? Is he out doing you out there? If you don't know, that's Peter 86.
I see Peter in the chat now. What's up, Peter?
What's up,
Welcome,
Peter?
dude.
I do like that picture. I haven't had a PB for a while, and I finally got one. Was planning to stay in Sunday for Mother's Day. So I went out Saturday night with some shore pounder friends. First spot, I landed 4 spotties, 2 which were legal, all that were on a twin tail grub by Big Money Joan. Wow, cool. I've never heard of that bait. He doesn't sell baits. That's why. In the second spot, I got a few bites. The last couple fish were able. My PB Sandy on a hookup bait, 16.5 inch. Let's show some of these pictures here. It's got himself a nice spotty there. Ooh, that's a beautiful picture right there. Nico rig too.
Also, it's
on
like,
the grub.
so it's like a killin's grub with 2 tails, huh?
There you go.
That's cool.
Nice pictures, Peter. Turn that camera sideways, though. There you go. This must be his PB Sandy, which is a 16.5 inch. The thing really fought well, kept pulling drag. Took me a minute before I could get it in. The spotties were caught on a Daiwa reel and rod, Power Pro line, twin tail grub. Sandy was caught on a Phoenix M1 with a Daiwa reel, J-braid on a 1/4 ounce hookup bait, limited edition midnight color. And also went out the same day and the same morning on my kayak. Just wanted to share this. It was an unusual way to catch spotties. Well, that's pretty cool, Peter. Thank you for all those pictures. There's his setup right there. And next up, Cash. So Cash is also up north, and Spotty Boy's been doing really well. I think he might be in contention for Angler of the Year. Go Cash. Cash has been painting baits lately, so he wanted to share this. He said, check out this cool baits head I painted. It's called Sexy Smelt and Sexy Sardine. Let's go. Painting his own custom baits now. Looking good, Cash. Nice job.
That's so good.
That's a
Wear gloves. Wear gloves. That's awesome.
Here's a picture of Cash right there. Here's a fish I caught on a rat lure that I painted. There's something so satisfying about getting a largemouth roaming on top water. When you're reeling that rat in and that tail's just swipping away. My son's big into those. And you get that big blow up on the surface. Dang, nothing more exciting. I was using a 7'6" 6-gill Kraken with a 6-gill Cyclone reel. This is a great combo for freshwater and saltwater crankbait fishing. I was casting the lure right up to the bank, retrieving it back slowly. So I stayed on the surface. I was not looking when the fish blew up on it, but I felt him pull under the surface. He put up a good fight, trying to break me off in the trees. Dang, you didn't get to see the excitement of the surface. Still, and I think that's probably his dad. He's like, hey, Dad, check it out. Dad's. So that's Jared back there, I would imagine. Okay, next up, a big PB shout-out tonight, Rowan.
Uh-oh.
I got this guy, Chet, with another one of those hats. Where do I get that hat? Come on, whoever makes that hat, send me one.
Is that Amadale hat?
I don't know. That's Chet right there.
What's up, Chet?
Holding up a spotty. He's up north too. He says, my kids went out last Friday on an evening session in Newport with me. Elise got a 15.25 inch, and Matthew got a 15.75 inch on this thing called a Ned rig. Is that how you pronounce that? a Ned rig? I don't know what that is. Rig? They got it on a Hobie tandem kayak. Dang, that's pretty cool too.
That's fun.
That is cool. They were both fishing Phoenix rods with Daiwa Fuego spinning reels, 8-pound line, They both doubled up at the same time near around 7:30 near sunset.
Oh, perfect.
Meanwhile, Matthew dropped a line back in, and he doubled up on a calico.
Oh, nice.
Nice picture.
That's cool.
Nice job, Matthew. There we go. Nice fish. And there's his double up.
Oh, I like that. How big that thing is.
That's a big spotty right there. That's the way they are up there, man. North is big ones.
Beefy.
Carl Black. I'm gonna call you Cardi B. Carl Black. He says, you just want to send me a picture of this. I told you I'd put on anything. He says, I kind of want to eat this. Why don't the 14.5-inch plus spotties want to eat this? I don't know, Carl. That looks pretty good to me. Keep throwing it. You just need to find them. That's a nice looking bait. Thanks for sending that in, Carl.
Cut the what's it called?
Weed guard?
Weed guard off, Carl.
There you go.
Cut that weed guard off, or cut it down to where you have maybe like 2 or 3 strands left.
That's a pro tip right there. We got SD fishing right here. Sheafy coming in. Sheffley. There we go. SD fishing. He says not his PB, but a 4-pound bass and a beautiful stream waterfall behind him in El Capitan Lake. Look at that.
That's cool.
That's good news because these lakes.
That's nice.
These lakes are all filling up. I don't know if you've been out freshwater fishing lately, Roman, but they're getting up there. They're still filling up. It's pretty nice. He says he caught it on a Nico rig, Ned crawler, Phoenix rod, 7-foot, 10-pound leader, 20-pound braid. Fought really hard. I knew it was a good one. I thought it was going to beat my PB, which is 5.37 pounds. It was 4.01 pounds. Still a good fish. Good fight. It was windy, and I went to a little pocket where the wind was blowing through. I was on my kayak, set the spot lock. Dang, you got a kayak with spot lock?
Dang. Fancy.
And caught a few in that pocket. And also the 4-pounder was my kicker fish of the day. After I explored the lake, went back to the lake and heard waterfalls. Sure enough, a big, beautiful sight. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Spot. Dang, nice picture there. All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh, let's go.
Everybody in MFC knows who that is. That is Mark G getting out there. Dang, Mark, that's some big rockfish right there. Mark G says, my PB rockfish at 450 feet deep. Dang, that is deep. I know Muto and Kevin and all those guys have been really dropping down on that deep water. Cool. 450 feet deep while fishing along the 9-mile bank on a jig strike with Cave Dog and Aaron big water yak fishing. A 7-pound red was my heaviest, and the big reds were caught using my Seeker 6'6", 40-pound rod on a Daiwa reel spooled with 80-pound braid and a 30-pound mono dropper loop.
There you go.
With a 7/0 long shank hook with pearl duster flashing skirts. Ooh, that's a lot to get out.
Dang.
He can use big pieces of squid, cut up strips, and sardines. Was a bait of choice for these monsters. Every drop took about 1 minute to get down to the bottom with a 16-ounce sinker. Dang. I don't even know anything. 16 ounce.
You need to fish that 1 pound. That 1 pound cool bait.
Cool bait.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I do have a 14.5 of that.
Just put a giant like a grub on that thing with a curly tail.
Yeah. Keep waiting to get an invite from Muto, but just sitting here, Muto. What's going down? When the wind picked up and the current changed, the drift moved faster. It became nearly impossible to stay on the bottom. With 16 ounces, dang, I added more weight. I dropped 28 ounces. Jeez. Are you dropping down a big gulp full of lead? What is that? But this didn't compete with the drift. You couldn't even get down 20 ounces. It didn't matter, though, because I was very blessed with plenty of fish and an epic day of fishing with my friends and family and an awesome crew. A big thank and shout out to the Jig Strike crew, Cave Dog, Aaron, Big Water Yak Fishing, and his family for making it so much fun. A memorable day. Afterwards, meeting the MMFC family at the park was just a bonus. Dang. Nice job, Mark.
Awesome.
Getting out there slaying. What's it like pulling up a 28-ounce weight at 450 feet deep? That's going to be you're going to have like Popeye arms at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
Oh, if I can get my computer working. If you don't know who that, we're still going here, Roman.
Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going.
I don't.
Guys, real quick before you go into the next one. we're bringing back hanging out after the show in Discord. So after the show, I'll be on Discord until about 9. If you guys want to jump in there, talk. I think Captain Dan might jump in there as well. So back in the day, we used to continue the show in Discord and just hang out and talk for a little bit. So I'll be in there until 9 after the show. So if you want to tune in and hang out and ask questions, that's going to be it. We're bringing that back for a little bit, see how we do. Okay? Keep
That's
it going.
pretty cool. I remember back in the day when Coach would be on there too, and man, Coach tells some pretty good stories on the after hours party.
Yeah.
I'm sure Captain Dan will too. It's more of the unabridged version of Fishy Hour, I guess you call it, right? Or unedited. I don't know. It's a lot of fun on there. Okay, if you don't know who that is Burning Here. Joel. Is that your screen name? Burning Here. Yeah, okay. Joel, he says, "Hi, Brian. I finally broke the skunk. Yeah. With my only fish, but I'm still proud of it. Caught it in Newport on a green net breaker warbaits with a Chartreuse Lunker City swim bait and an eye rod with a Tranks 150. Awesome fight with the light gear. Caught some from shore. Here's one random picture of a striper he wanted to share too. So great, man. You got a code on his
So
hand.
good.
So he must be in Spotty Bowl, and that's not a bad fish to catch.
Yeah.
Break the skunk. Striper. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you've never been striper fishing, watch out for these things up here.
Oh, that's cool.
Those will poke you. They're pokey little guys. You don't expect that so much in the freshwater, but man, I know from experience.
Is that on your favorite lure?
Oh yeah, you got it on the croc. Heck yeah,
Nice.
Team Croc. Let's go, Joel. Croc will catch anything. That's Salty Dangler. There's another striper. So all right, last but not least, here we go. This guy. I think
Let's
that's our new PB shout out.
go. Yeah, we gotta change it. Yeah, we gotta change it.
Damn.
Yeah, we
Not
gotta change
only
it.
double fisting, but Cal's gone into quad fisting.
Quad
What's up, Cal? Quad
double
fisting.
fisting.
He says, "You want a story?" Yeah, I want a story, Cal. How should I read this? Let me see here. Hold on one second. It was a brisk Sunday morning.
No.
Okay, sorry. That's how he started it out. It was a brisk Sunday morning when we left San Diego Bay on the jig strike out of H&M. I'm assuming this is the trip we went with Mark G.
Yep.
Captain Patrick was his jovial self. I think he's being sarcastic. Deckhand Glenn and another guy, I called him FNG. It's an acronym, okay. Was the greenhorn. They gave us a lowdown on how to rig up. Boat chef Garland stayed busy cooking up the boat burritos. Boat burrito. And kept the coffee flowing. Our charter master Dave hyped us up for the long day of fishing. On the way to the 9 Mile, I kept an eye out for foamers and boils. I didn't see any, which leads me to conclude that the tuna aren't close enough yet. Fishing with the tuna gear, I used a Daiwa Proteus boat rod, 7'6", a Daiwa 500 electric reel. That is a smart guy right there. Electric reel spooled with 60-pound trilene mono leader, or trilene, and a 65-pound Daiwa X-J braid. So a 60-pound leader and 65-pound J braid. The jig of choice was the Grape Soda Submission Fishing Co. 500-gram Samurai slow pitch jig on a double loop dropper with cut squid. Dang, Cal, that's a serious setup you're dropping down there. So he must be using the Muto special for his weight to get to the bottom, and with a dropper loop squid on there. That's 2 for 1 right there. Artificial and on the squid. The current kept pushing us off the rock so I had to do multiple drifts. After a few drifts, I switched to the slow pitch jig on the double dropper loop, first with a 16-ounce weight and eventually tying it to a 24-ounce. Even the 24-ounce was hard to keep the line from swooping out. I limited out on reds by noon and even gave away a few. A variety of sizes from these rock pods were amazing. And then they lived happily ever after. The end. All right, Cal. Let's see if there's any more pictures. Bam, there's Mark G again. There's Cal. Let's go, Cal, on the Submission Fishing Co. jig. And that is it for PB Shout. Oh, it's not quite it. That is not quite it. This weekend, we fished the SBS tournament with Brett and Chad and all the guys up there. Me and Salty Dangler had a pretty decent day. Caught some good calicos. Had a lot of fun out on the water. got myself in pre-fish, got myself a 7.5-pound calico on the cool baits. I know. Of course, I couldn't find that fish on tournament day, but hey, that's the way I roll, right, Salty? And he was a lunker, pulling him in 2 at a time.
Oh my god!
And then on the way back, pre-fish day, what a mess. We were soaking wet, but hey, that's a rare picture of Salty Dangler with a big smile. We had a fun time out there. Let's go Salty championship round in September.
Like,
let's go Chad. Let's go Brett. All of us will be in that championship round. So let's do this.
That's not even Salty, dude. That's just a CGI of Salty. It's like
that's actually him. I was there. I took the picture. But let's go for that championship round, guys. A lot of the guys in chat are going to be there. So let's see what we can do in September. And with that, I am going to leave my screen share, Roman.
All right. Awesome. That was fun. That was a good, much needed PB shout out. We've been overdue, and I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't knock that out. I'm glad Brian's back so we can get those together. Let's see. Go split. There we are. Yeah. So.
Whew, I'm out of breath. That's a lot of reading. That's a lot of talking, guys. This weekend, San Diego Bay. Let's do this. It's tradition here. That's for the guy that says I don't drink at all. This weekend, San Diego Bay, let's do it, guys. We're going to be out there snagging grass and catching bass. I'll see you out on the water. Later, guys.
Later, Brian. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Woo. Round of applause from the live studio audience. That was a blast. Thanks again, Brian, for taking care of that setup for the PB shoutouts and getting coordinated with Eric, the judge, and getting all that stuff done. I really appreciate it. Yeah, good episode today. It was fun. Good guests. Good show. Good entertainment. If you want to continue the fun, if you hadn't had enough of us yet, I don't know if Brian can join, but I'll be on there. I'm going to be on Discord. Go to our Discord page. Sign up. RomanCastro.com/MMFC, or you can type in !Discord in the chat. And the Nightbot will give you a link if you're not part of our Discord server yet. If you are part of our Discord server, go over there now and go to the General Comms voice channel. We'll be in there talking smack. What happens in Discord stays in Discord. So I'll see you guys over there. If you have any questions, that's my opportunity to hear you guys talk. We've been talking. I've been talking. Brian's been talking. Now I get to hear what you guys have to say. Okay. So I'll see you guys over there. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Hit that like button, guys. We got 30 people watching and 27 likes. Smack that like, even if it's towards the end before you go. If you're watching from a tablet or a phone, you have to exit the chat and then hit the like and then jump back into the chat. I see people starting to come into the voice channel on Discord, so I'll see you guys in there. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be back here Wednesday for another episode of Fishy Hour, and we'll have the scores for this weekend's Spotty Bowl results. It's gonna be a blast. Hope you guys can join. Do me a favor and share the show with a friend that you think is getting into fishing and you want them to get better. Invite them to watch the show with you. Okay. You guys have a good night. I'll see you guys in Discord. May the bite be with you. Woo! Wait for this to go through. There it is.